I mean, it's only like an hour and 10-minute drive from here to like Asbury, and for whatever reason, there's just like a big pocket of kids from like Howell, Brick, and Asbury and Point Pleasant that come up here for shows. And I remember seeing my friend Mike Body, moshing at shows in like 2010. Like we'd go down there and we always try to show each other up because we didn't know each other. So we'd go to their hood and mosh as hard as we could, and they'd come up here and it'd be the same thing. And then we became friends, and we all love each other's bands. You know, King 9, Backtrack, Heavy Chains, Born Annoying, Blind Justice, all of that. And I don't know, for whatever reason, we all just click. We all get along really, really well, and it's like one big scene, kind of, you know.
Queens, motherfucker. I grew up in Queens. I mean, I have a lot of love for Brooklyn. I have to say, my entire family lineage is Brooklyn. You know, my parents are born and raised Brooklyn. I probably missed being born in Brooklyn only by a few years. But I think Queens is the borough. Like Queens, the bands that came from Queens, and I think some magazine, didn't they just deem Queens as like the greatest destination in New York or something like that? But, you know, Queens is New York. Like, it's diverse, it's got all kinds of stuff going on. I think Queens represents, New York really, really well. And I think New York hardcore that has come from Queens has been pretty awesome and pretty important.
I gotta do this, man. Come on, yo.
Everybody does it.
I don't know. Mackie, gotta say that. Louis Beto, I'm sorry, but I gotta say that too. And let's see. I'm not sure. You got me on the spot, dude. I'm gonna leave somebody out.
Deluxe.
Deluxe. For sure.
Yeah, pay to get in, okay? Pay to get in, support. Webster Hall, the old Ritz, ain't cheap, okay? I will be hiding in the back of the club, okay? And not from the front door. No, seriously, support the show, come down. It's not easy to do a show at the Ritz, man. It's, it's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of things going on, but we try to keep it as attached to the old history of New York City as possible. But come and support the show, have a great time, and don't be a dick.
Someone was sitting outside of A7 by the park playing guitar. He had a little guitar. Maybe it was a rapid deployment guitar player, I'm not sure. And I'm thinking to myself, I can play better than this guy. Let's see if I can get that guitar in my hand. And eventually I did, and he let me play it. And I started playing, and it caught the attention of like Billy Milano and Kabula, who were there. And they said, yeah, this guy can play. So he asked me to be in Hinckley Fan Club. So I got the Hinckley Fan Club. Kabula was playing guitar, but he switched over to bass. And that's when I got the name of Cause for Alarm from my friend Lisa James, who was writing a fanzine back then, and brought the name Cause for Alarm to the table. But we needed a drummer, and by that time, somehow or another, I'd met Rob in New York. He was playing for Sadistic Exploits in Philadelphia. And I think he quit Sadistic Exploits to be in Cause for Alarm. How Keith came into the picture, I have no recollection.
I think it might have been, at CB's, it might have been like, I think it was like Raw, Killing Time. It may have been Killing Time at that point, Absolution, and Sick of It All, I think. And I think that either Gingy or Reese had did a flyer, one of the most hardcore show flyers. That show, was insane, incredibly hot. Or, I gotta admit, Bad Brains, Circle Jerks, and Living Color at 1018. And I actually not bootleg for sale, but I videotaped that show on like a little cassette thing. That was an insane show.
One show that was just like otherworldly, it was almost like so incredible, was that, maybe you were even there, that Cro-Mags record release show for Age of Quarrel at CBGB's. Were you at that show? Harley had like some kind of cast on his arm, like he had like a broken arm, but he's still playing. And just the energy that was around that show, because here's like the they were like the kings of hardcore like at that time. And I remember I was like sitting on stage, and all of a sudden you just see Mackie, tick, 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 and it was just like, whoa! You know, you just threw yourself off the stage. That show was unbelievable. Maybe that one.
When Cro-Mags were filming their video for We Gotta Know, they did a show at the Ritz. Now, you know, I was 13 or 14, maybe 12 or 13. None of us even drove yet. So, yeah, a couple of the older dudes in the scene, they went down, but we couldn't make it. And it just sucked. Like, we were heartbroken because we know we could have been there and seen something. And yeah, Cro-Mags at the Ritz for the filming of We Gotta Know.
Yes, absolutely. Even more so, HR was the most energetic, frenetic frontman I had ever seen. I mean, there's, you know, in hardcore, you know, like in different genres, there are certain people to me, like Lux Interior of the Cramps was one of those guys. It just, he got on stage, he was the most commanding presence I've ever seen. You know, but yes, the Bad Brains live and their shows at the Rock Hotel and everywhere I saw them, absolutely one of the greatest live bands I've ever seen.
Did I ever? Which one? Fuck, plenty of skinhead girls. Some of them got on top of me, not for nothing.